Hey y'all, it's your girl Charity B, and welcome to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. This podcast was designed for both men and women who are in the process or wanting to start their self-love journey. Here we discuss many topics related to self-love that promotes healthy habits that will help support your mental and emotional health, boost self-confidence, and self-worth. So get ready. This is something you don't want to miss. If you like what you hear in this episode, feel free to DM me and leave comments on my Instagram page at iam.enoughmsl. The podcast is also available on YouTube. The link will be in my description box as well as on my Instagram page. Hey y'all, welcome back to the I'm Enough Mastering Self-Love podcast. It's your girl Charity B. As usual, I hope you guys are doing great, and I hope life has been treating you fairly, even though we're only 10 days into the year. We all know life be life, and it don't matter how many days we into this year. Also, I hope you have been able to progress in your self-love journey and learn how to love yourself on a deeper level since the last time you heard from me. If you are new here, welcome to the podcast. I hope that you hear something today that actually makes a difference in your life and that teaches you how to love yourself on a deeper level, and that you continue to tune back in to hear your girl, okay? Before we get into this episode, I always tell you guys how I have been doing. I'm recording this on January 10th, so we are 10 days into 2025, and the year it's been good for me. I've been starting off on a great foot, so keep praying, you know. I pray that everything is going to be good, great, perfect, damn near perfect, okay? I came into this year with a different mindset for sure, because a lot of you know that last year just was the worst year of my life. I went through a lot, and I made it, and I'm very grateful for that, because I made it through that year. And it was from January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. It was a lot, but I made it, and I'm very, very grateful for that. So yeah, this year, you know, we always be like, the next year is going to be my year. Next year going to be my year. But I really feel it. Like, I really feel it, y'all. Like, I don't know. It's like a sense of a lot of positive energy just beaming off of me, and I just feel a sense of newness on a lot of levels, different levels. So yeah, I don't care what nobody say. This year specifically, I know it's my year. Like, it's only up from here, and I've been saying that since last year. So yeah, but let's get into this episode. We're still in season 2, episode 4, and we're calling this one Clean Slate. Yes. Don't you just love a good clean slate? If you're not aware what that means, if you Google what clean slate means, this is what you're going to get. A new start. Especially to make a new start by clearing the record. It's to forgive or forget past faults or offenses. And a lot of us, we need a clean slate. We need it, especially after last year. And I know a couple people, well, a lot of people, I have been seeing it all on social media. People had a trying year last year, and some people had a good year. Congratulations to you, kudos and all that. But I'm talking to the people who really were going through a crazy time last year. Like, it felt like it was unreal for you. This is your chance at a clean slate. We still at the beginning of the year, so it's never too late to start back over. This is your chance now. So we gonna forget and forgive whatever happened back there. It's hard to forget, I know it, but we aiming to forgive it. Okay, let's say that. Let's do baby steps, because we still human, we still flesh. So we're aiming to forget all the past hurt, all the past pain, all that anger. We trying to leave it in 2024. We are dropping all the dead skin, the baggage, the people, the things that was holding us back in 2024. We are not bringing it into 2025. And that's the kind of mindset I am in this year, okay? Like I said, you know, let's just bring it back some. So for New Year's, the holidays was really hard for me because this was the first year without my mother, and it was the first year without my grandma. And also, my mother actually got sick. She started getting sick right the day before Thanksgiving. And like the whole, every holiday since November 23, she was in the hospital. And we really couldn't enjoy the holidays because we were in the hospital and I was trying to fight for my mother. So it was a little hard. Thanksgiving was cool for me. I really didn't think too much about it, but when Christmas came around, it got hard. And I did go out and hang with family, but it was small. It was not as it wasn't a lot of us there. So it kind of like, it was getting to me. New Year's was very bittersweet. And you would think that because I went through so much that whole year that I would be so happy to step into 2025. But to be honest, I didn't know how to feel. I really didn't know how to feel because that was the last year that my mama was alive. And that I held on to that the rest of the year. And I think that's what kept me a little connected to that year because my mama was here on this earth in 2024. Now I'm stepping into a year where she physically does not exist on this world. So in this world. So it was, I didn't know. I don't know how to describe, what words to use to describe that. It was just bittersweet, I guess you can say. Because honestly, I would do that whole year all over again just to see my mama again. Like that. I would go through everything I went through all over again just to see her. And I think I'm saying that because I know in the end that I came out of it to where, I mean, I'm still healing and I'm still working on myself, but I'm in a better place than I was a couple months ago. So yeah, I would do it all over again just to see my mom. But unfortunately, we can't do that. We have to keep going, and that's what she would want me to do, keep going. So I'm keep going. Yeah, I have my days where I'm still, hurting and still don't want to do nothing, don't want to talk to somebody because of all of that. But the thing that keeps me going for sure is God, and knowing that like I went through a horrible year. Horrible. I lost so much. Some people that I was around and familiar with, not around anymore. But this year, it's only up. It's a chance to start over. It's a chance for my clean state, I had to pray. Yeah, I turned up December 31st a little bit, not much. Actually, it was a little bit. I started and I got tired. I don't know if I'm getting old. I'm only 26, but let's not talk about that. But yeah, I did, but I also gave a part of my night to God. I prayed. And that's how I brought my New Year in. Because that was one of me and my mother's traditions every time. Whether I was with her, celebrating it with her in the same area, or I was at my house, she was at her house. We would always call, and at 12 midnight we would wish each other Happy New Year, and we would pray over the whole year and pray over our life and whatever God had planned for us moving forward. We would pray over it. So I did just that. I kept that tradition still active, and I prayed, and that's how I brought my New Year in. So back to this clean slate. What I did differently this year, or I'm trying to do different this year, I have a vision for myself. I never did a vision board before, but this year I did do a vision board. I'll put a little picture of what my vision board looks like. But I put down everything that I wanted to be done in my life this year, or started to be done to prepare myself for the next year. I put it all on the board. I got me one of the foldable poster boards. So I had a lot of pictures, but I put everything. I went to Walgreens, printed out all the pictures. I screenshot, go to Pinterest. That's how I got all my vision board stuff. But I put all the things that I wanted done in my life this year on that poster board. And then on the back, I wrote, I broke down each section of my life that I wanted to be touched or changed, and I wrote it down. Then I wrote a prayer to seal the deal. So I touched my finances, my health, my mental. I think I did also my career and my spiritual journey, because I feel like for me, that's one thing my mother left me with, because my mother was a very prayerful woman, like God-fearing woman. So she held on to her religion. That was her something she hung up to when things got worse or bad. And I always say this, whether you're Christian, Muslim, or whatever you are, I believe that as a human being, you can't just say you don't believe in nothing. It has to be, you have to have something to grasp onto when times get rough, because when there's no one around, and you backed in a corner, you have to have a saving grace. And for me, for my mother, it was God. For me, is that too. So she left me with something, and I'm very grateful that she did that, because I was in a low place many a times last year, and if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would be, y'all. Like, I really don't know where I would be. So to say all of that, I want to get close, have a closer relationship with y'all, God. So that was one of my areas I targeted on my poster board. But anyways, so get your poster board. I want y'all to have a vision board. It don't have to be as big as mine, and because you may not want to spend a lot of money on stuff, but get a vision board and pick out at least 4 areas of your life that you want to be touched this year, and you want to make a difference in this year. And pictures that describe that, put it on that poster board. And then on the back of that poster board, I want you to be very, very, very specific. It's about being very specific. Yeah, we could want a new car and we can want a new house, but if we don't be specific of what kind of car we want, what kind of house, we might get any kind of car at any house. Small little house with roaches and all of that. You don't want that. You want the best of the best. So you need to put that, and you need to be very specific. You want a house with 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2 car garages. You want a pool. You want a balcony. You want to be able to garden. You got to be very specific about what you want this year. Because I don't know about y'all, I have no room for failure. I have no room for it may happen, it may not happen. I have no room for getting something that's the bare minimum. I have no room for that. I have accepted the bare minimum, whether it's bare minimum men or friends. I've accepted that in my past life, and I, at 26, about to be 27 in 2 weeks, I have no room for bare minimum anymore. I know what type of woman I am, and I'm not bare minimum. So I am not accepting that no more. So on my vision board, very, 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 very specific about what I wanted. So take the time out for yourself and get you a vision board. Put your vision on paper. Write it out. If you don't want to do the pictures, take each of those areas and write it out and put what you want to happen in your life and work towards that. I feel like if you put it in front of your face every morning, because me, I put it in my living room. I come in my living room every day and I put it right there in front of my TV and I look at it every day, because I use it as my motivation to keep going and actually put in the work to meet every specific goal that's on my poster board by December 31st, 2025. Okay. And also, for me, I picked one word that will describe my whole year for this year, or like that I want to focus on. For me, it's healing. That's my word of this year, healing. I have a lot of healing to do in every area of my life. I think emotionally, mentally, physically, even spiritually. Like, I have a lot of healing to do. I think last year tried to break me. It did. And the enemy sent people to try to break me. And it was people in my circle that I thought cared about me, but were too selfish to really care about me. And it tried to break me. It really did. But God gave me a lot of strength, endurance, and perseverance. Like, He really did, because the average person, I don't think they could have dealt with what I had dealt with last year. Like, I really don't think they could have. I mean, yeah, I had my moments because I felt like I was at a loss, and I felt like I kept losing, but I was very determined to fight to get out that corner that somebody tried to stuff me in. and I am definitely in a better place than I was then. But this year, for me, my word is healing. Like, I have a lot of emotional healing to do. And I decided to, one way I decided to start my healing process, I did reach out and get help. So I am in grief counseling now. And it was very intense, because the last couple months since I had started feeling better, I kind of put things to the back of my head. Not in an unhealthy way, but I'm just trying to move on with my life, but not forget my mom or my grandmother, but mostly my mother. That's something that really just, because that was my last parent that was alive. I lost my father when I was 8. So she was all I knew for almost 20 years. Even before that, I was closest. I was a mama's girl. So I was getting better in a healthier way, but some things were unhealthy. Like, I feel like I was getting used to death. And when I hear people die, I have the human capacity to feel empathy and sympathy, but at the same time, it wasn't how I used to be. And I didn't like that. So I decided I needed help. Also, when the time I decided I needed help was when I was really, really low. And I felt like, I can't do this alone no more, because I'm a very prideful person. It's not one of my favorite character traits, but I am. And I often, I didn't like to reach out for help. Even when I did lose my mama, I didn't reach out because I just wanted to be left alone. Like, I do good alone, but sometimes I didn't need to be alone. Not saying I would hurt myself, because I would never cause harm to myself. I love myself too much. But it's not good to be in that bad headspace, because you never know where your head can lead, because the mind is a terrible, terrible, terrible place. So that's what made me reach out, because I was in a low place. But I actually, although it was very intense, I took my first class or counseling session Thursday. So yesterday. It was very intense, but it was nice to be around people who actually feel every bit of pain that I feel or have felt before. And I can relate to them. And you have a support group. Yeah, I have friends and family that support me, but they really don't know what I'm feeling or what I have been through. Like, there's no possible way unless you go through it, and I wouldn't wish that on nobody. Like, unless you go through what I had went through, because I had a very intense year. It was not like my mama just passed. Like, it was months of having to watch her fight for her life and have to fight for her life for her, and then me not taking care of myself, and then me being the only one left to take care of her by myself, tugging and pulling and giving her 12 pills a day and changing IV bags. Like, it took a real toll on me to have to watch my mother just slowly die in front of me, and then watch her take her last breath. And then I was just thinking the other day, because I hadn't thought about all of it, and this is me being very vulnerable, because a lot of people don't know nothing about this, but the day she passed, of course I died. I not died. So sorry. Take that out the atmosphere. I cried so hard. And honestly, I didn't get no sleep. I literally stayed up. I dozed up in and out that night. The day before, the night before she passed. And, but I sat by my mama the whole time, holding her hand the whole time. And then, she passed away 6:55 a.m. The sun was just rising. I remember it so clearly. And I broke down, and then I cried for a good hour and a half. And then all of a sudden, I didn't even leave the room. I fell asleep in the room. I was so tired. I hadn't slept in 2 days. It just, a lot of that came back because I had to talk about it yesterday. But I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place that I can handle my emotions, I guess you could say. I'm still working on it. Still a work in progress, because I still get sad. Today was probably one of those days that that was kind of bad, but not in a sense of putting me in a depression spat. It's just I remember so much, So yeah, but that's that. Let's move on for that. Back to the clean slate. I think this year a lot of us deserve a new start. We deserve a new start. I call this the metamorphosis stages cycle. Let's say that metamorphosis cycle. I know there's many stages to metamorphosis. I don't really know, but y'all know I love butterflies. I don't know if you know that, but I love butterflies. I love the concept of starting off as something ugly, a caterpillar, and you go into this cocoon where you work on yourself and you allow yourself to finish developing, and then you turn into this beautiful butterfly. Like the concept is really beautiful to me, and I think of it as a way of our lives as human beings. We may not be no ugly caterpillar or anything, but we go through so much as humans, and it can be so ugly and so devastating and so traumatic. But life lets you go through, God even lets you go through those things, because when you go through that door on the other side, it's something beautiful, something you've never thought you'd imagine, and you finally get everything that you deserved, and you turn into this beautiful butterfly, and you turn into the woman or man that you want to be. And I feel like I'm in that cycle or that stage where I'm in my cocoon, and I'm working on me to better myself, to be that woman that I've always talked about that I wanted to be. And that's why I'm just so happy for this new start, for this clean slate. I feel sad that I had to go through what I went through, but it definitely it's changing me as a woman to be who I need to be. And I'm content with that now. It still hurts, but I'm content with that, and I'm able to go forward, because I know my mama didn't leave my side just because she's physically not here. I still feel her presence every day. So, life is going to end with death, and I have to be okay with that, So I'm excited for my clean slate, and I think you need to be excited for your clean slate. I think you need to pick your one word for the year. What is something that you want to target for this year? What's your one word for this year? Is it healing? Is it forgiveness? What is it? Like, pick your word for this year. I think it's also forgiveness, but for mainly, I think I'm going to say healing, because forgiveness ties into my healing for me. I feel like I have to forgive a lot of things, and the personality that I have, that's going to be a hard one for me. Forgiving. I think I hold grudges. Depending on what's the extent of what you did to me, but I do hold grudges, and I don't like talking about zodiac signs, but I talk about zodiac signs all the time. I'm an Aquarius. And we verbally, when we feel like we backed in a corner, or we feel like you try to play on our top, or you did something very, very bad to us and you didn't have to, and we can't physically do nothing to you, we verbally try to assassinate you. And I have a problem with that. I can admit that. I have a problem with that. I really try to verbally assassinate people who try to either hurt people I love, or has hurt me to an extent to where, like, oh, you did that and you tried that? Okay, now I have to annihilate you. And I be saying some very, very hurtful things. And it's not because I don't mean it. I mean every word. Like, I mean every word. So the mic on, because I meant every word, everything I said. But even though I mean it, I think I have to work on not getting to a place where I have to verbally assassinate somebody I either once cared about, or just because that's a human. You don't have to do all that, because words really, really do stick with people. I mean, that's the intent. I want it to stick with you. But the woman I'm trying to be, that's not the characteristic trait that I want to have. That woman doesn't want that. Okay. So I have to work on that. Work on not trying to verbally assassinate anybody. With that being said, I'm going to give y'all a few key aspects of what you need to do, or steps that you need to do in order to, like, have a clean slate, or start the process of having a clean slate. I think a big aspect of it is to let go. And that's the hardest thing for us to do, especially if it's something that we're used to or someone we're used to. It's hard to let them go. But at the end of the day, the whole part of having a clean slate is to put yourself first. It's putting you first and your needs and wants first in order to see or have a better atmosphere or view or scenery. You putting yourself first and your needs first and your wants. So you have to end the things that need to be ended. You got to give away things you don't need. If it's clothes, shoes, excess stuff you have in your house that you don't need anymore, give it away. Things that you shared with someone that is no longer in your life, if it keeps bringing on a memory or anything and it bothers you, we have to give it away. We got to throw out things that we cannot fix, whether it's people, things, throw it out. If it's broken, it's broken. Some things that are broken meant to stay broken. We ain't trying to fix nothing that is broken and can't be fixed. Okay. And after you do that, get rid of things that need to be given away, or letting go of someone that does not need in your life. Then you can start catching up on the things that actually add value to your life. Be able to put those things first and start moving forward and progressing in a positive way towards your end goal or whatever is your vision. And a big thing that I did was I adopted a new perspective as well as a new routine. So now when I wake up, if I don't go to the gym in the morning, I go to the gym at night. But when I wake up, I cook me breakfast, something, because one of my main things is focusing on my health, because I struggle with PCOS and it actually is beating my butt lately. But I am ready to be not the old version of myself, but I do have an intended goal as far as my weight and my body. But also I want to target my health and have a healthier life, healthier habits when it comes to my health. So I get up, I made me a good breakfast, and I read a scripture out the Bible. I literally open the Bible wherever the pages fall. That's where I read the scripture for the day, and I take my notes on it. And me doing that has definitely made a difference in how I started my day. And sometimes if I don't read a scripture in the morning, I'll read it before I go to bed. And or in the morning I'll meditate. I love meditation. Some people have struggled with silencing their mind, and that's why they're not really good at meditating. But that means there's something there that you need to look into, do some reevaluation on why you having a problem with silencing your mind. A lot of overthinkers have this issue, and especially if you went through a lot. Like me, I went through a lot, so I overthought a lot. But I had to find a way to hey, let's silence my mind, because this is me time. This is when I need to focus on myself. You may not be able to meditate, but even when you you can even do something simple as taking a bubble bath and turning on some nice soft music, rainwater, or just the beach, hearing some water on the beach hitting the sand, or waves, whatever can help get you relaxed. Because I think the main purpose of meditation or just trying to silence your mind is just relaxing, putting yourself in a space of just nothing, just relaxing. And it's hard, especially if you test up all the time and stuff like that. But tea works. Trying to get rid of that caffeine, that helps put me more in a relaxing state to prepare myself to meditate. But anyways, I adopted a new perspective and a new morning routine. You can also practice journaling. That helps detox all those bad feelings and emotions that you feel. You put it on paper or put it in front of you. That way you can start your day or your week with a fresh start, Another important aspect would be to proactively work towards your new objective or your new goal, as far as your vision. When you put these things on this vision board, it's not just to be in your house. Of course, it's for you to make the steps in the right direction to achieve each and every one of these goals and to better every aspect of your life of those 4 or more areas. So we have to proactively be putting our best foot forward into doing that, or we're going to have the same mess and issues that we had last year, and we do not want that. So don't just sit here and set these boundaries and put them in place and have these vision board, but don't proactively move forward and still be doing the same things, because you're going to get the same results, and you're going to be wondering why December 31st 2025 we still talking about the same thing, and we're going to try to get change the same stuff, and we do not want that. Because if you're tired of being tired, like for real tired of being tired, nobody want to be sitting here on December 31st saying, yeah, I need to get my life together. This is the time to get your life together. You have 12 months to really get it together. And don't say, oh, I can do it later. No. The time is now. The time is now. Okay. Now, for a lot of us, including me, forgiveness is a part of my clean slate thing. Forgive and forget. I'm never gonna forget, but forgiving. Now, those are the steps the aspects I think that are important as far as progressing in general and having a clean slate. Now, we're talking about a clean slate in a relationship, friendship, whether it's intimate, non-intimate, platonic, and non-platonic. These are some steps or aspects that you have to do in order to have a clean slate in a relationship. So what it means to have a clean slate in your relationship is to intentionally start fresh by openly addressing past issues, actively forgiving each other, and consciously choosing to move forward without holding grudges, focusing more on open communication and rebuilding trust with a new perspective. That's what Google says. And I agree on every aspect, everything they're saying, because, for example, cheating. If you take your cheating spouse or partner back, you have to actively, proactive move forward to forget. Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight because trust is broken. But you can't keep bringing up the same thing either over and over again just because it's still bothering you, because you made a conscious decision that you're going to move forward in the right direction, and you're not going to, you're going to try to make it work with that person. So I think that's a hard thing to overcome when it's trying to have a clean slate in a relationship. Me personally, I'm too cocky and I love myself too much to take anybody back that was cheating. So I don't think I could do it. But, because I was just telling my best friend, I was like, I don't know how women do it, or even men, because some men do it. But I think they are very strong if you take somebody back after they have cheated on you. Because I feel like for me, once the trust is broken, you're never going to get the same girl again. Like that same lover girl that loved with no I don't know what the word I'm trying to use, but the lover girl that just loved and it was pure as hell, you're just not going to get her again. Like, you're just not. The girl you get now, I'm not saying I'm going to be hateful and mean, but if I constantly had chose to move forward in a relationship after somebody like stepped out on me, yeah, you're going to do a lot of work and you ain't getting no cookies, like, at all. Can't touch this. I'm sorry. Yeah, like, I don't know. But if I be thinking people really strong to take somebody back after they did that, because I don't know, I couldn't do that. Like, at this point, you dead to me. There I go, verbally assassination. Anyways, but that was just an example. But in platonic relationships too, because trust can be broken in a friendship as well. Prime example, I've been watching Married to Medicine. I don't know if y'all watched that, but Jackie and Simone, they are two OBGYNs, they're doctors, and they've been best friends for like 20 years. And something happened where a mutual friend, she and Simone had gotten into it, talking about heavily. She and Simone got into it, and Jackie didn't do what she was supposed to do as Simone's best friend, and it felt like she was putting heavily and Simone on the same like making them equals as far as a friendship. And that wasn't the case, because that was your best friend for 20 years. You only knew Heavenly for a certain amount of years, and she wasn't even your best friend, nowhere near. She's a friend, a really good friend. But to say they equals is crazy. And yeah, Simone never did want to put you in between it because she told you that. But if you find a way in it on your own, it kind of like, okay, well, now you in it. What we doing? Like, you in it now, so now I have an issue with you. But trust can be broken in many ways in a friendship, for not sticking up for that person, for not being there for when they need you. You still have those same, a little similar vulnerabilities in a platonic relationship that you would have in a intimate relationship. So I think an open and honest conversation is the first step to that too, because you have to talk things out. You have to get out tell that person what they did that may have hurt you or did hurt you. What do y'all plan on doing to move forward from that? Like, you have to have an open conversation, not all that yelling. But I'm talking about the calm conversation where we can actually talk to each other and listen and understand how somebody else is feeling. It has to be a mutual understanding that you both are going to sit here and be like, okay, I can forgive you, and like actively forgive and move on. And I think that's one thing too. People have to understand that forgiveness means that I am forgiving you. I'm letting go for what you did, and that's in the past, and we're not bringing it moving forward. That means to actively forgive and just leave it where it's at and move forward and do better moving forward. Once we do that, I think we can actually move forward and actually have good relationships when we learn how to forgive. I think that's very hard. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I got forgiveness all packed down, because I know I don't. And I actually struggle with it currently. Some things I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive. I'm not in a place of hate or anything, but and forgiveness is not saying I forgive you and that means you're allowed to come back in my life. Forgiveness is just, I forgive you for what you did to me. I'm willing to let it go and move on with my life, and you move on with your life. We do not have to be in the same area. We do not have to be cordial. We don't have to speak to each other ever again. It's just, I'm letting go of the pain, the hurt, or the anger that you made me feel. And yeah, I'm not going to actively say I forgive anybody if I actively don't feel that way. So that's something I really, really, really want to work on. I really, really, really need to work on, just for me as a person, because there's no way you're going to get into heaven with a heart sin, and hate is a heart sin. So I'm just going to work on that this year. Yeah. But anyways, back to having a clean slate in a relationship. You also have to set boundaries and keep those boundaries. A lot of us know how to set boundaries, but don't know how to keep boundaries. Keeping them, standing on it, standing on business. You stand on business with everything else, then stand on business with this person. And when it comes to your feelings, because your feelings is valid, and the moment you let something slide, that person is going to get comfortable and they're going to keep doing it again. Women with our men, please stand on boundaries. You have to love yourself a little bit more. You have to love yourself a little bit more than what y'all doing, letting these men walk over you like you a rug at the doorstep. Like, no. That's what he cleaned his feet on. No, you have to have more boundaries and loving yourself and focus on you. You cannot let nobody manipulate them because they got something good in their pants, or they show small little cute little aspects that that are good and show that they're good. Just because you're a good dude or good woman does not mean that you're likable. That doesn't mean that, okay, yeah, he do this, he buy me flowers, he call me and check up on me. That don't mean we need to be together. It doesn't mean that we need to be together. Trust me, there are a lot of more fish in the sea. You just got to go through all the bad ones to get to the good one. And I think I heard this before. I don't know who I heard this from, but you can't just give up on love. And it's ironic for me to say that. You can't give up on finding love. Yeah, your heart gonna get broke, but one day you're going to get that man or woman that actually really does love you. And you have to be very, mindful and very careful of who you give your heart and your love to. It's not saying, oh, let's keep trying to whatever we like and we come across, and if my heart get broke, oh well. No, your heart is very precious and it's valuable. You as a person or as a woman is very valuable. Your cookies, they're very valuable. You can't just give them out to any and everybody in hopes to get the person that you want. We still have to be cautious of how we move when it comes to that. You don't have to date everybody and keep getting your heart broke till you find the right one. You know, it might take 1 or 2 heartbreaks to get to the right man or white woman that is for you. And for me, I'm in a stage of protecting everything. Yeah. Well, yeah. I said me personally, I'm starting dating my type because I have been dating not my type, and I feel like they've been playing in my face like I'm not that girl. So I need to date my type. I always give people the benefit of the doubt. Forget the benefit of the doubt, okay? Because obviously you wasn't worthy. So, but that's the story for another day. And the last 2 aspects I would say is to demonstrate positive actions. Back up your word. Stand on your word. Be persistent and consistent. Show appreciation and be supportive. And I also think a big one is to seek professional help. Sometimes it's some things and some baggage that we carry with us that won't allow us to move forward, because some things we just are not capable of handling ourselves. And like me, my grief, I couldn't handle it by myself anymore, so I reached out to get grief counseling. So sometimes you need help to get over that trauma or that baggage that is holding you back and won't let you move forward. And a lot of people, especially a lot of men, I always say this, I think a lot of black men need to focus on healing themselves. We be making fun of them, especially the bad dudes, about their daddy issues, but that stuff really do be affecting them. Like, it really do. And they really need to but you have to be man enough, and you have to be an adult enough, and you have to want it to actually take a step back and say, hey, I need to focus on myself, to heal myself, so that I can be the man or the person that I want to be. You have to have some morals and beliefs. Because if you don't have nothing, that's why I say, if you don't have nothing that you look to when you at your lowest, then what are you as a human being? Why are you here? It's kind of pointless. So seeking professional help, getting to that point where you're like, okay, I need to focus on me. I need to do what's best for me, and actually going to someone who can actually talk to you and being vulnerable. And y'all, I tell you this, I kid you not, like, I was very worried because my grief counseling sessions is a group session. It's not individual. I had been looking. I didn't want to pay out of pocket because of the space I'm in. I just didn't want to pay out of pocket for like grief counseling, because I was like, I don't want to do it if I have the opportunity to get it for free. And so the free options they had were group, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to be vulnerable. I can't not talk because it's not going to help me. So if I don't talk at all, and I was like, I have to be vulnerable with people I've never met a day in my life. I don't know these people. And I was like, oh my gosh. But I was happy I did it too. When I went to the first class, 'cause I was really anxious and nervous. So I was like, I don't talk about my problems, and I damn sure don't cry in front of people, especially people I don't know. So I was like, yeah, okay. But I am glad that I did take a chance and do something differently so that I could get the help that I needed. So don't cut yourself short because you're scared or you have pride and all this, and don't actually seek out to help. Get the help you need if you actually need it and you want to see a difference in your life or in yourself to accomplish the goals that you want to, or be the woman or man that you want to be. So don't cut yourself short because you're scared, okay? Fear stops you from a lot of things, and it can stop you from accomplishing a lot of things. And if we keep being scared to do things, we'll never get nothing done. We'll still be in the same place. Okay. So yeah, those are the steps and aspects that I would say you need to do or need to have in order to work on having a clean slate. And if you want to give yourself the chance to something new and fresh and refreshing, then to accomplish your goals, then do it for you. If you don't do it for nobody else, do it for you. At the end of the day, I always say you're the last person that you see at night. You're the last person that you go to bed with. You're the last person you talk to. You know, you only got you. And if you don't do what you want to do and what you love, you're not going to be happy in life and not going to find your purpose. So for those who want to clean that slate like me and you're looking for a fresh new start, do these things for yourself. Get your vision board, get your pictures. Do it before this month is over, because once February start rolling in, you in the second month, things start moving and you forget. So do it by the end of next week. Have your vision board done. Take the time out for yourself and get your vision board done. Pick your one word for the year that you plan on focusing on. Like I said, for me, it's healing. I am focusing on healing myself in every aspect of my life. And don't forget to be very, very specific about what you want out of this year. Be very specific, okay? And I hope all that works out for you guys. You know, I look forward to hearing from you all saying that you got what you wanted, or you starting to make the right steps in the right direction to get what you want. I look forward to that. And of course, y'all gonna be hearing from me the next episodes and moving forward about what I accomplished. And one thing, let's say this. We gotta be quiet about a lot of things we doing, because not everyone is wanting the best for you. So be mindful if you do want to tell somebody, because sometimes you get excited about reaching certain goals and you want to tell somebody. Be very mindful about who you tell. Make sure that they are authentically are going to be happy for you, because I mean, jealousy is almost cursed, but I'm not gonna curse. Jealousy it's a thing, and you may think it's your best friend, maybe your mom, your sister, your brother, your family. It doesn't matter. If some people just don't want to see you going up, they want to see you on the same level as them because they can't find their way out. So be very mindful and careful about who you tell about your goals. I will keep it to yourself. You know, I'm gonna show y'all my vision board because I know y'all not jealous and y'all want the best for me. Hopefully we on the same page, because this is supposed to be our safe space together. But I'll put a little clip in there. Well, you'll see it when I talk about my vision board. I'll put it in there talking about that. So you just get an idea of what I am trying to do, get an idea what you want your vision board to look like. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned something. I hope you got something useful from this that you can use moving forward. And I hope to see you guys next time. Welcome to 2025, y'all. It's only up from here. Bye.